Hello and welcome to Super Marathon Bros with myself Paul and my brother Alan. We're running the virtual London Marathon on Sunday the 3rd of October 2021 and we're raising money for charities that support ending food poverty. This is the first part of our video diaries as we do a quick check-in, but mostly this video we're actually going to ask some questions about what our objectives are and what our goals are as we train over the next 6 months to get marathon fit. For me, today is a rest day. Sunday is the day of rest. But I did tell Alan to go on a run before filming his answers. Just for laughs, really.
So Paul told me to film this after I'd been for a run so it actually looked more believable. So I've just done a few laps in the back garden and no, seriously, I've just done 11k wearing my Spider-Man t-shirt and yeah, I got stopped by like a 7 or 8 year old asking if I was Spider-Man. Maybe if Spider-Man had seriously let himself go. I guess it kind of seemed like a good idea at the time. It's something that I kind of always had an aim to do, but I've never really been fit enough to do it. And when I started running with one of the old running clubs that I ran with, Rotherham Harriers, a few years ago, one of the old run leaders basically said, everyone's got at least one marathon in them. And hopefully this is my one marathon. And it's essentially the goal that I've been aiming for since I started running about 3 years ago.
Unlike Alan, running a marathon has never been like the end goal for me. I've never sat and thought, you know what, running 26 miles, that'd be a good thing to do. But that being said, kind of running's slowly become my habit, my hobby. Over the last 2 to 3 years, it's become my passion, and I spend most of my spare time doing that than anything else. And I run mostly short to middle distance, so anything between 5 and 12, 13 kilometres. So I thought this year, actually, it would be good to turn my hobby, turn my passion into something that can benefit others. So something that I'm okay at, something that I can do competently, and make some money with it, raise money, and do something basically that's bigger than myself. I thought, it was a chance to make a difference, make a change.
So we are actually supporting 3 charities. The first one is a charity very close to home. It is the Rotherham Social Supermarket based at Rotherham Minster. It's a food bank to help people in the locality who may be going through some hard times in terms of food poverty. I think Paul and I would both admit that we had quite a privileged upbringing and we never went hungry, but we would like to support those in our local area who maybe haven't been quite as privileged as we've been. And working in education, I've seen firsthand the difficulties that food poverty brings to children. We're also supporting UNICEF, which is a more international charity, which supports people going through hard times all over the world.
So while the first charity is actually from my hometown of Rotherham, that actually gives me a feeling of being connected back to the UK, back to England, back to my family during a period that I can't really go back home due to the pandemic. Given that I live in another country, we actually thought it would be better if anyone that sponsors us from France or from any country, we want them to see where their money's going and how it's being used. Hence, the second option was UNICEF. And then the third option is a French charity called Secours Populaire Français. And that's a food bank service that operates nationally in France, but they do have a local operation. So we're going to donate an equal split of funds received 3 ways between Secours Populaire Français in Montpellier, to the Social Supermarket in Rotherham, and to UNICEF.
I think that's quite a short list, to be fair. Is there much to look forward to during marathon training? No, seriously though, I think I've been training for about a month now, and I'm already starting to see my distances increasing, which I'm enjoying seeing. I'm starting to see my times increasing. But as well as that, I'm starting to feel the physical benefits as well. The run's starting to get easier on my knees and my joints, and I'm starting to see the weight come off as well, which I'm combining with a healthy diet. So all positive aspects that I'm seeing at the moment, and I look forward to seeing those even more so as the training goes on.
Ooh, sculpting my already magnificent calf muscles. Actually, I'm really looking forward to seeing my run distance extending. So this week I moved up to 15 kilometres. And actually at the end of the run, I felt like, if somebody had put a gun to my head, I could have gone longer. Well, I mean, first I'd have said, well, why are you taking this so seriously to put a gun to my head? But actually, I would have been able to say I can go longer. Also, selfishly, I'm looking forward to smashing a few audiobooks out. Running is the time that I use as my downtime, so I forget about work, I clear my head, and I get lost in a podcast or an audiobook. So yeah, really looking forward to catching up a bit more.
The first one is, am I going to be able to manage it? At the moment, I'm managing around 11k maximum, and the marathon is over 42k. So I'm having to quadruple my current distance between now and October, and I just don't know whether I'll be able to do it. I'm hoping that with the support from you guys that it will spur me on to be able to do it, but I don't know whether my body has it in it to be able to do that. I'm also not looking forward to all the training. On those days when you just want to be enjoying yourself over the summer, for example. You're wanting to be spending a bit of time in a beer garden, enjoying some nice food, but I know that I'm going to have to be out running and improving my distance so that I can reach that goal of over 42k by October.
I'm really not looking forward to summer training here. 2 years ago we had temperatures of 42 degrees, and I mean, I don't envy Alan, because Alan's going to be doing hill runs in Sheffield, but I feel like I'm going to be running some really antisocial times this summer just to avoid the heat. Then the other worry I have is, I suppose, the elephant in the room, COVID. So, what if I get COVID? What happens if I'm impacted long-term COVID? What impact will it have on my lungs? What impact will it have on my training? Will I ever be able to run again? Out of that, will there be any further lockdowns stopping me from training? There's currently a curfew in place. Will that curfew go on and stay in place over the summer? And that limits the times that I can run, and then that ties into the kind of summertime training that I'm worried about. I also worry about snakes and scary clowns that live in the sewer.
At the moment, I'm doing 10k in around an hour. So I feel like for me, a respectable time would be somewhere between 4.5 and 5 hours for the full marathon. But honestly, I just want to finish it. If I finish a marathon by running the whole distance, I feel like that will be a major accomplishment. So any time would be a good time for me.
For me, anything below 5 hours. I'm currently doing 10 kilometres in about 52 minutes. I do feel like, my times will probably slow down towards the end, so my kilometre times will probably be around 7.5 minutes as I'm, eyeing the finish line. But yeah, for me, anything below 5 hours, anytime during that day, really, I think I'd be happy with. But yeah, I'd be extremely happy with anything under 5 hours.
And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you want to stay up to date with the training that we'll be doing in the run to this marathon in October. Remember, we are the Super Marathon Bros, and also we would really, really appreciate any sponsorship that you can offer, as small as it is or as big as it is. All the details for sponsors can be found in the information below the video. Thank you very much.